Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us. I think it's a Thursday. Week's kind of gone by fast. It's been a bit of a blur, but I'm pretty certain it's Thursday, as a matter of fact. But it's good to have you with us for the next half hour. We've got our HCC news and information and some special guests coming your way. Dr. Tony Reyes Sutherland joining me as my co-host this morning. Tony, was I right? It is Thursday, correct?
Yes, I will verify that it is Thursday.
Okay. I lose track of days.
Difficult. Summer,
Yeah.
You get all confused. But anyway.
Well, we don't have any excuse. It's not like we're not working.
I know.
It may be summer for most folks, but not for us.
Excuse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, it is summer. And if you go outside, you'll be reminded very quickly, it's the Houston summer. Oh, and we are on the surface of the sun part of the season. That's where we are right now.
Extremely hot. Even if it says it's like 110 or even 120.
Well, that's true because it actually feels like it's 110. If you watch the news, they tell you that. Yeah. Hey, Tony, we want to welcome everybody watching us on Facebook Live, and we're also live right now on YouTube as well. And you can catch us in social media anytime if you don't get the show at 10 a.m. live every weekday morning, by the way. You can catch us in social media and on HCCTV, Tony.
That is true. The social, of course, go to Facebook, but also Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and then HCCTV, noon, 5 and at 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Of course, social media, wherever you want.
All right. Stick around, Tony, because your interview's involving Virtual Family Fun Day. And we've got a special guest, Michelle Smith, who is the assistant to the director of the Childbirth Center, Houston Methodist Sugar Land Hospital. Good to see you, Michelle.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. You've got an event coming up. We've got some things we want to talk to you about as well. So stick around, grab some coffee. We're going to be with you in about 10 minutes.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to kick things off. We've got a very special story. Hometown hero. His name is Aaron Armstrong. He's a gold medal winner for track and field with the 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics. Welcome to the show, Aaron. Good to see you.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I want to hear about your story, but before we get to it, because it's a fascinating story, very rewarding, we're going to hear about that in a second. But tell us a bit about your athletic career. Maybe I understand your parents were Olympians. That's pretty cool. But tell us about how you got started in this.
I got started. Actually, I started running track later in my career. I started in my 11th grade year. Okay. I was more into music. I love to be in a band, percussion, piano, things like that. So my mom actually gave me the opportunity to say, okay, look, I know you like that, but let's try this or whatever. So I started late. So I had a whole year to maybe turn around my career before I had to go into college. So it was a dedication. It was some hard sacrifice that I had to do, but I got to the place that I was. So happy for that.
Was it hard having parents who are Olympians and you're growing up going the musical route? Are they telling you like, that's great, but we really want you to be an Olympian too? I mean, did you always feel compelled that sooner or later I'm going to get out there on that track and I'm going to be an Olympian?
Well, growing up, they never really pushed me to do it because my mom always stated like, okay, when you pretty much dedicate to it, then you're going to get serious. You know, it's not a sport that you can really play with. You have to either go all in or you don't do all or nothing. So she really never pushed me to do it. But when I did it, that's when she got behind me and her and my dad and taught me the tools that I needed to know.
And I want to get to the dedication to being an Olympian because it's phenomenal, all the practice and you've really got to be dedicated to the sport. But let's talk about your Olympic story because from what I've been told, it's a very fascinating story because you were in the 2008 Olympics. And you were competing for Trinidad and Tobago's track and field relay team. Tell us that story, what happened, and then let's talk about where it went after that.
Okay, Beijing was, like I say, that was the Olympic year or whatever. We ran the prelims and we ran a final. So initially, we ended up getting the silver medal. Now with the IOC, what they do, according by the law of, Olympics and things like that, they are able to keep your urine samples for 8 years. I think 8 to 10 years. So they went back and retested everybody samples 3 years ago. and found out that one of the Jamaican athletes tested positive for performance enhancer. So that's why 14 years in, and over 2 weeks ago, we had to fly to Switzerland to receive our medal at the Olympic Museum.
So
crazy story.
I know 14 years later, they're coming to you and saying, wait a second, we did something wrong. The other team's doping. You guys are the gold medal winners. But you didn't get a chance to celebrate that moment at the Olympics as you should have, but they brought you to the Olympic Museum. Tell me what that was like, because did they have a ceremony for you there as well?
And it was a great experience. I went over, me, my daughter, my wife, we went over there, spent 4 days over there. So it was they had a whole ceremony. Where we toured the museum. We got a chance to donate I donated a pair of shoes that you autographed that's going to be put up in the museum. And then they actually got back up and played the national song and whatever, and then presented us with our medal. Also, we had lunch there. So it was a beautiful ceremony, but to me, it was like, it's a crazy experience because I didn't even much know they can go back that far and test, samples. But they really showed us a great hospitality while we was there.
That kind of blows your mind because, like you said, you hear about doping. Of course, you hear about the famous cases, the Lance Armstrong cases. And then years ago, I used to do Ironmans, and you'd hear about doping in that all the time. They're very strict on it. But the Olympics, they're going back almost a decade, checking up on things. I mean, I guess does that still go on today? I mean, I guess it does. Yeah. You're telling me.
But you got to remember, technology changes, is getting more advanced and everything. So things that they can test for then, it's probably a more wider range now what they can test for. So they really cleaned up the sport. And our drug testing is so brutal where we can get drug testers at our home at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yep. That's what people don't know. When you sign up for USADA, you have to have a certain time that you're in a certain place every day in case they test you. But I mean, they had a technology to go back and they still got that in place right now.
Now, let's talk about the sacrifices, because I don't think people understand how much you put in when you are training in the Olympics. Once again, my Ironman experience, nothing on the level of what you guys did, but I remember putting in 30 to 40 hours a week outside of my work, just training leading up to the event itself. What does a typical day look like as you're in the training mode as an Olympian?
Okay, they probably start off at probably 6:30 because we usually have practice around 9 o'clock when you're a professional athlete. 9 o'clock, you're at the track. You got to work out between 9 to say 11. All right, you probably get a 30-minute break. Then you're in the weight room. After that, that's probably another hour and a half. After that, you get massages. After that, you're going to sit in the cold tank. It's straight recovery every day for like 8 months, 9 months. You train and that's what you do. Like, people don't know. The Olympics was World Championships was just this week, but we started in October getting ready for it. So it's not like over a 3-month span that we're getting ready for the Olympics. No, it's like an 8 to 9 month span. Also with Europe, track meets and things like that.
And obviously your goal is to be peaking at the time of the competition itself. Is that where you're getting your body to, where you're in that peak mode where you can really hit it as hard as possible?
Yeah. And also the injuries, being able to, offset, injuries, because that's what's going to happen in the sport. But when you get to the Olympics, it's nothing else you can do. Either you got it or you don't. So that's when you stand the peak part of it. Yeah. When you go to the major championships, that's when you want to be at your best. And that's when you want to have all the homework done that you need to have for your event.
What was your favorite event that you enjoyed? And do you continue obviously doing any track and field now? Do you run a lot? Are you faster than everybody else out there?
Maybe for my age group, but not for where I need to be. But trust me, it's hard for me. I can't even run miles. That's what people be crazy, because I can't run a mile for nothing. I tried. It's better for me to try to run fast than anything, but my hamstrings ain't the same no more.
Yeah.
So I still do some drills or something like that if I got to teach some kids or something like that. But outside of that, I don't do a lot of it. I say enough show.
Do you have any special tips for competitors in any sport? I know one of the biggest tips I got was a professional swimmer. I went to a event with him where he spoke to all of us, and he said what he would do is he would get in the water and he would do 100% for the first quarter of the race. Then he would lower it down to 80%. Well, that's impossible for me because I'm good if I'm at 80%. But do you have any tips like that you've learned that you could give to people who compete?
My tip is to practice what you're trying to do in the race or whatever event that you're doing. Simulate your practices just like if it's a race. Your routine. If you're used to reading a book before you get ready, do all that at practice, because when the race comes, it'll be second nature. So I always set my routine to be the same. Whether if it was raining or anything, I set my routine to be the same. I never deviated from it. So that's what I tell people. Just stick to the routine. How you're going to compete, do the same stuff at practice.
What do you do now? What is your profession now that you do as well?
Right now, I'm in a development kids, youth, no matter what sports it is. I'm at a wonderful gym where we specialize in transformation, whether it's fat loss, whether it's weight gain, anything like that. And also we do a lot of things where we do a lot of youth outreach, whether it's bringing kids down from Toledo, Ohio, just to show them how Houston is and things like that. So we do a lot of stuff, a council walk, you name it. That's the passion behind. I guess that's the way that I had to find my transition from track into, like they say, the regular world.
Aaron Armstrong, gold medal winner, track and field 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics. You're an inspiration to us, Aaron. We appreciate you being on the show, and we'll have some information in our social media post and where folks can find you. Thanks for being on the show, Aaron.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
All right, Tony, we're going to turn things over to you for our Family Fun Day guest. Go ahead and take it away.
Family Fun. All about here. Have you ever baby shower? Yes, a lot of us have, especially. And today, the assistant director of Methodist. Welcome to the.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Well, talking about not just a regular baby shower, baby shower.
Grand scale. I know you've been to these baby showers. You're talking about it. I've been to several. I had a couple. No, this is large scale. So one of our conference centers, which is the Brazos Pavilion. So we have like A, B, C, and D. They're individual rooms. It is all opened up. It's big. If you want to go to a baby shower, this is the one you want to be at.
This was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how it's going to.
So it's going to be on Thursday, August the 4th. It starts at 10 a.m. and it ends at 2 p.m. It is a drop-in, so you don't have to come at 10. You can come at 1 or whatever's convenient for your schedule, right? So if you're running errands and you just want to pop over, please still do. We have so many community partners with us in this. They love to support us. So you'll see Sugarland Police Department here actually doing car seat safety. You'll have some other organizations here. We have Houston, it's a House of Charity. Here, they're going to talk about water safety. So you know how the temperature of the water, I know whenever my children were little, I was taught to test the water on the inside of my wrist, right? Well, they actually have these cool little cards that you just dip it into the water and it tells you if it's safe for your baby. And they're going to talk about things like that. They have all kinds of child safety things they're going to discuss. So I'm so glad they're joining us this year. We have great community support and sponsors they are handmade burp cloths and little breast pads. So it's everybody that shows up to this thing gets this set and they love them. So a lot of our community sewers, quilters out there, they reach out to Donna Timmer, which leads this. She's one of our lactation nurses that is on campus. And she spearheads this every single year, and she gets all these quilters that want to donate and help sew burp cloths and little breast pads, and we give these out during World Breastfeeding Week at our hospital. So not only do we have a community baby shower on that day, every patient that's in our hospital that's delivered a baby or delivering a baby will also get these gifts, which is so nice. You'll have different things in there. You know how they have the slings. They'll teach you how to, use the sling properly. There will be lactation support on hand. And most of this shower is actually staffed by our childbirth center staff, right? So if you have a labor question, a pre-registration question, anything like that, aftercare question, those nurses are actually going to be there. So this is the place to be. So if you haven't pre-registered for your delivery, we'll have patient access services there as well to help support you and get you going.
Daughter-in-law first, it had been years and years since I had a baby. And she was going like, well, I don't know. And then it's been years since everything. So
they have found better ways and easier ways to do things than when we had children. Most definitely.
So what's the main goal of these?
It's mostly awareness. So we want to make sure that the community has the support that it needs to help answer those questions. A lot of times when you go to a hospital and you have the baby, you have the support there, but then what happens after? So a lot of the community partners like WIC will be there. You'll have access to additional support services, and then they can help guide you to other ones that you may have or may need. Lactation, it can be difficult. It can be a struggle for some moms, and coming here to this, that gives them another avenue or another opportunity to ask those questions that they're really concerned with. And maybe they need to change the way they're holding their baby, and they're going to have that kind of support there. It's just such a great resource for people to come in and ask those questions that they've needed answered. They haven't found that person to answer that question yet, or maybe they already left and they were too embarrassed to ask somebody. It's okay. We have people that are coming in that are pregnant, that have already delivered. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's also, this happens to
It is, yes.
Everything, but there you go. Perfect timing.
Exactly. That's why we also give these to our patients during that week that have delivered or are delivering, because it is that World Breastfeeding Week, which is fantastic.
Okay. So they said they were going to how to use a car seat is very important. I remember that was one of the first things that I had no clue. So, and there's going to be free gifts. What else get to do? And
well, like we, talked about the safety aspect of it, there's going to be a lot of different tables or booth setups for that. So you'll get to talk to, like I said, the police department, the House of Charity will be here to talk about the water safety, how to do the sling properly, so that's safety. You'll have just any type of support that you think that you had, that you were missing or that you have questions on. That's what we're going to be there for. So you'll have the RNs there to help you navigate your journey. If you haven't had your baby yet, maybe they can help you make your birth plan, say, oh, I was curious about this. And what does this mean? I read this online, Dr. Google is sometimes not the best things, but, they can help you really finalize those plans and everything. So we really want to just help the experience for the mother and the newborn babies.
And so you have to register.
Oh my gosh, you can just walk in, is drop in. But if you wanted to register, you can. So you can go to join.houstonmethodist.org/baby shower-SL. And that SL stands for Sugarland.
Oh, very good. This is a great service. Like I say, I remember when the granddaughter came about, and it's like, I don't have, number one, half of them I forgot what they were, and number two, they're probably not up to date anymore.
That's what I was saying. Things are different from whenever I had my children, and my grandchildren, when they came along, I just told my daughter, I said, just ask the experts. So that's what's going to be here. So bring your questions, come to us. We're happy to support the community.
Now it's Thursday, August 4th from 10 to 2. What if they miss that?
It is.
What if they miss that time? Not such. Can you help me?
Reach out to our Childbirth Center. We'll be happy to help guide them.
Okay, great. Excellent. All right, well, thank you, Michelle. She's Michelle Smith. Childbirth. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll have information about all of that.
Thank you so much for having us. Bye.
Okay, Tony, I don't know what happened. Did you lose me or something? Did we go blank for a second there?
I don't know. I think I'm getting, my mic is going out. I'm not happening.
Well, you got to turn your mic up, number one. But I think my connection went dead for a while. So I don't know. I hope you're still here with us watching the show. We'll know soon enough. But either way, we've got a few announcements we're going to go through. Okay, financial aid. You know you can get that to help pay for college. Well, there's some book financial aid that's available as well. Financial aid grants and loans may be available to assist students for books and supplies with the summer 2022 book credit. It's going on through August the 1st. Sign up for it now. You don't have much time left. We'll have the financial aid book credit information in a link in our social media post after the show. And there's a global energy exploration fair coming up. It looks like the 9th of August.
Absolutely. Our manufacturing career, and it's August 9th, 4 to 6 at 8. And technology information about that in our post.
Okay, the fall registration raffle, you can win $500. $500. What could you do with it? You could go out of town, maybe buy some groceries, or maybe fill up your car maybe once for $500, right? Fall 2022 registration is open, and HCC's registration fairs are a great opportunity to get personalized enrollment support at multiple campus locations during the weekend. And those who attend are entered for a chance to win a $500 scholarship and giveaways. Happens 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays, every Saturday starting August 13th and 20th. So those 2 weeks in a row. We'll have a link to that information in our social media post after the show. If you ever wanted an HCC license, Tony, license plate, you can get one now.
Yeah, they're neat. It says, HCC, they're custom, so they're really neat. And the money that you buy the thing go to student scholarships. Good all the way around. Okay.
All right, Tony, they're asking me to take over the rest of the show because we got some mic issues for you. So let me throw in a few announcements. We'll figure out your mic in a little while. But all right, get a fast track career in public works. Get started in a career of public works with HCC's new fast track certification. Our entry-level 20-hour basic waterworks operations course can be completed in 1 to 3 years with a starting salary of $56,000. Training is approved by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and prepares students for their Class D licensing exam. Brand new program we got here. So make sure you check that out. If you want to look more into it, we'll have a link in our post after the show. Fall registration. That is ongoing right now. You can register for the fall. 5 ways to learn. 2 of them are completely online. You don't need to go into a building. One of them, it's online anytime. One of them is online on a schedule. The online anytime, you can literally download those courses and take them overnight. Online on a schedule, you can interact with your classmates in an interactive forum. There's also a hybrid, which is a little bit of online and in person. And then there is a hybrid lab, which exactly what it sounds like. Then we have the traditional in-person classes. We started those up a while back, and you can go to a campus, take your old school class, and make sure you sign up for that early, because those classes are smaller than usual. Okay, they have a cap on them. They'll add more of them if you sign up for the class. So make sure you go to hccs.edu/apply. Okay. Film Friday. Hard to believe. Friday is already here. We've made it through this week. Congratulations. You're on the home stretch. We've got a special guest on the show tomorrow. This person was on Ozark. That's right. You ever seen Ozark? One of the best shows on Netflix, by the way. Evan Vorazaris. Okay, I'm going to go with that. He'll correct me tomorrow. He's from Katy, but he played Tuck on the popular series. He's being hailed for shining a light on the Down syndrome community. Should be a great show tomorrow. He'll be a special guest here. We have a lot more going on for you live tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Up to the Minute. Have a great Thursday.